Oh man, mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check. Oh, it feels so good. Why do I feel the need to sneeze right when I press record? All right, man. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Y'all know what day it is. Y'all know what time it is. Y'all know who y'all looking at. Welcome to another episode, ladies and gentlemen, of Club Pizzle. Yes, indeed. I am, of course, your host, Don P. Pizzle, Unk, Pie Guy, all them good things, man. Y'all know what it is, man. I am so happy that I am here with you guys this week. I want to thank you guys for your continued support of this platform. I want to thank you guys for your continued support of this podcast. I greatly, really greatly appreciate you. I hope y'all can hear my sound effects because I know I'll be playing my shit back sometimes in the sound effects. Yeah. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. But what do I want to start with? First of all, I want to start off with shouting out Acquired Taste Media for having me out at the Beats and Bars Festival out in Canton over the weekend, man. I had a blast out there. I did get some audio out there, but I'm not happy with the audio. Excuse me. So I'm not going to put that stuff out. I think it was because where I set up shop at, I was too close to the stage and where the speakers were. So it was kind of, it sounds chaotic. But shout out to all of my guys, man. It was a shout out to Richie Carlisle. Shout out to Al. Shout out to BZ Amarelli. Shout out to Nazi Nay. Shout out to everybody that was out there, man. I seen a lot of my guys that I ain't seen in a while. It felt good for me to get back on stage and perform again. I felt great. My voice was screwed up for a couple of days. So if I sounded a little funny on Tuesday night's main event last Tuesday, that was the reason because I performed. I was also doing interviews. I met a lot of people, met a lot of contacts. I do have something for my Cleveland people. Um, don't sweat it. I got y'all in the coach. And I'll just say, if y'all think Joe Button is bad and messy and all of this crazy stuff, just wait till y'all hear what I have for y'all, or I'll say just wait, okay? Because it's gonna be something. I got more of that. Thank you guys for tuning in to Tuesday night's main event. Oh, there we go. All I had to do was lower my damn chair. I do this every week with this damn chair. Uh-oh. Every week with this chair. I'm adjusting things. Like it's been a lot. Like I've been doing some experiment here in my in what is known as Club Pizzle right now. My good news, I don't know if y'all seen my Facebook post earlier, but my good news is yes, I found me and my family a nice crib. So I will be moving in a month. Yes, yes. I will be moving. I've seen the house. I've been to the house. Um, I'll be moving into a whole new space. So it'll give me a chance. So like October, November, if you're noticing things looking a little different, it's because I'm moving into my brand new space in my brand new man cave. Um, I'm just pumped for that. I've been looking and I found something here. But now, it's temporary. Don't worry, Cleveland. I'm not gonna leave y'all yet. I can't leave Cleveland. Y'all the only fan base that I can really go after. Y'all the only fan base that really give me y'all back to kick in. So I can't leave Cleveland just yet. I'm trying to think of what else, man. Beats and Bars Festival was fire. This coming up Sunday, I am at the Grog Shop with my gang from Battleground. Shout out to Mr. Shredder. Mr. Shredder was out at Beats and Bars Festival. He came out to support me. That's my dog. So we will be at the Grog Shop this Sunday. Doors open up at 8. Come out for Battleground, man. See if Cast the Artist can become a 4-time champion, which is one away from becoming a 5-time champion. I'm just letting y'all know all the stuff that I'm doing before I get into this show, because y'all know what it is, man. We are here for a good time and not a long time. And my wife made hamburgers for dinner tonight, and I can smell them shits from where I'm at, and I'm starving like Marvin. Dead ass serious, man. But yeah, man, that's this Sunday, August the 25th. We are at the Grog Shop, hosted by Mr. Shredder, 10 Buck 2, DJ Verb on the 1s and 2s, myself, Flight Life Bees, and a special guest judge who I'm not sure. I don't want to say this is who the judge is going to be, and that person doesn't show up. But I'm a resident judge. Flight Life Bees is another resident judge, and then we always have a guest judge. So just come on out just pop out to the Grog Shop. It's a Sunday night. We gonna be down there, man. We gonna kick it. We gonna have some fun. Now, let's get to it. Preseason is finally about to be over, y'all. I know we happy that football is back, and I don't know about y'all, but that first week of preseason, I am a lunatic. I am just such a football head and a football nut. It's not as bad as it used to be when I was really 25, 8, 366 with it, like I am with basketball right now, and trying to take a little breather from basketball. But that's impossible, being that as a Cavaliers fan and now a season ticket holder, they sent me the 10 games, my 10-game season package. Being a season ticket holder for the Cleveland Charge, by the way, I will have something pertaining to the Cleveland Charge for you guys really, really soon. I need you guys like and share and comment and send that into to the Cleveland Charge. I need y'all to send that into the Rock Sports and Entertainment Network. I need y'all to do all of that. If y'all want somebody to give y'all the Cleveland Charge stuff, I need it for it to be me, and I need y'all to help me get there. So, if you will. But back to it. Like with football, I used to be so entrenched in football that I used to watch like ESPNU or ESPN Classic back when we had ESPN Classic. Anytime there was an old game on, I was watching. I used to watch everybody's spring games. I used to watch college football live all year round. Now, not so much. I've been so entrenched in basketball that once the Super Bowl is over for football, I'm 100% basketball. Like, I might take some time out for free agency. I might take some time out for the draft. I might take some time out for like the first week of preseason or whatever. But it's like being strictly on the basketball kick. That first week of preseason, like the Hall of Fame game, I honestly watched the whole entire Hall of Fame game. And had it not been rained out, I would have watched all 4 quarters. That's how crazy I am. Week 1 of the NFL's preseason, I watched every single game. Not once, but twice. And I also watched them in the all 22 view. Anybody who has an NFL Plus subscription, and this is not an ad, NFL Plus. If y'all have that, and if y'all know what the all 22 view is, y'all already know what time it is. I watch my Browns games. I've watched Browns games in the all 22 view for the last 2 seasons. Okay. So I know what time it is there. I know I'm there. But I'm saying that to say week 2 of the preseason, I don't really care for. Week 3 of preseason is the week that that I'm used to. It's like, all right, I'm gonna see the starters. It's gonna be kind of like it's kind of sort of like a dress rehearsal. But nowadays, it's not really like that. But the Cleveland Browns are preparing for their final preseason game. They're going out to Seattle this Saturday. I believe it's a late game. So I'm probably going to be asleep because this is my work weekend. So I'm probably going to be asleep. And I'll probably end up having to watch it that morning or during some breaks at work. But they are going out to Seattle. Some of the starters are expected to play. How much they're going to play, I'm not sure. I didn't have an opportunity to catch Kevin Stefanski talk today, so I don't know if Deshaun is going to play. Or I do know that Deshaun did throw today. I'll get to that in a second. But the starters are expected to play. My big question, if you're going to play your starters and if you're going to play Watson, I don't think Chubb is ready just yet. They haven't activated him just yet, which I believe they have a deadline to do that. If they don't do it now, or if it's a certain, I believe it's a deadline. They don't do it by a certain deadline, then he has to sit out for the first few weeks or whatever. But I believe if that isn't in place, don't quote me on that. I'm speculating. But if that isn't in place, I'm expecting them to activate him once they announce the final roster, which is, I believe, over the weekend or sometime next week. We should see Coop, Judy, Njoku, Elijah Moore, the guys that we really haven't seen. We saw Cedric Tillman, we saw David Bell, we saw Thrash, we saw some other guys. We saw some of the offensive linemen. Going to the offensive linemen. If you're going to put your starters out there, who are your starting tackles going to be? There hasn't really been, or I haven't seen, any updates on Jed Wills or Jack Conklin. Haven't seen anything. They're down. DeJuan Jones went down, I believe. James Hudson went down. So you're down 4 tackles. I ain't the smartest man in the world. I don't claim to be the smartest man in the world, even though I do be right on 80% of the shit that I say on this show, if not more. If I'm wrong, y'all can tell me I'm wrong. If it's higher, tell me it's higher. But if I'm down to tackle number 5 and 6, I'm not putting my $250 million quarterback out there behind any of that. If I'm Kevin Stefanski, honestly, I am not putting Deshaun Watson out there, and James Hudson is guarding his blind side. James Hudson has been on this team for a while, right? Right? If you hear an offensive lineman's name too much, or if the referee is calling this offensive lineman's name too much, that's not good. The key for an offensive lineman is to not get his name or his number called, unless the commentator is running. You might maybe once or twice in a game where it's like, well, check out this block or check out this protection. He come off the edge and the tackle kicks him out, or he's pancakes him or something like that. But when it's holding, 66 offense, it was a sack on the quarterback. Oh, James Hudson missed his block, blah, blah, blah. That's what I've heard a lot with him. You hear it with Jed Willis, just not as much, at least on my end. I've heard James Hudson's name way too much for him to be an offensive lineman. And it's not been good. We heard Joe Thomas's name a lot because Joe Thomas is that dude, and Joe Thomas was league wide loved by everybody. So any commentator that had an opportunity to call a Browns game would say, "Well, check this out by Joe Thomas. Check out this technique." It was something on the replay. It wasn't, "Oh, Joe Thomas called for holding. Oh, Joe Thomas got blown by. Joe Thomas missed a block. Joe Thomas got a false start. Joe Thomas jumps for the third time this game." I've heard that from James Hudson. He hasn't been here that long. But I am not putting my $250 million guaranteed quarterback behind James freaking Hudson. That's just me, though. Speaking of Deshaun Watson, he had some soreness in his arm in which Kevin Stefanski shut him down for the day yesterday. I watched that press conference and I heard Kevin Stefanski specifically say, "It was me." He has a little bit of arm soreness. It's something that's normal. He's been here. He's been throwing passes. So I decided to shut him down. That is what I heard from Kevin Stefanski. And all I've been seeing on Facebook for the last 2 days, or any post about the Cleveland Browns on social media, is Deshaun Watson negativity. Let me ask this question. Or just let me give y'all this. Y'all know Denzel Ward's in concussion protocol, right? That's why you haven't seen him or heard from him. That's why he hasn't practiced in 2 weeks. More than likely, Denzel Ward is not going to play Saturday in Seattle. Now, Denzel Ward, as great as he is always in. I'm going to pull something up. Y'all speak, and this is the first and last time I'm going to talk to Cleveland Browns fans on this show this year. So stop giving me y'all backs to kick in, okay? Stop giving me y'all backs to kick in. He is in concussion protocol, by the way. 5th concussion since 2018. Nobody ever talks about Denzel Ward always being hurt. Concussion, hamstring, shoulder, ribs. Y'all don't talk about that. Y'all know something about Denzel Ward? He's never played a full 16 games. 13 in his rookie season, 12 in his second year, 12 in his third year. 15 in 2021, 14 in 2022, and 13 in 2023, 11 starts. It's a 17-game season. It's been a 17-game season the past couple of years, right? Or past year. The best ability is availability, right? Why isn't this talked about more? You want to get on Deshaun Watson for being hurt. And yeah, they paid him a lot of money. Guess what? Denzel Ward is one of the highest paid cornerbacks in the NFL. He's always hurt. He's always dinged up. It's always something. It's a leg thing, or a shoulder thing, or a concussion thing, or a heart attack. No, it's not a heart attack. Not a heart attack. I watched Major League during this week, so. I'm going to just throw that out there. And again, I love Denzel Ward. I'm a Denzel Ward fan. He's one of the best corners in this league. I did have issues with him during the previous regime of when they were in that bullshit. Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. Last year, he had a great year. But this year, I believe it's going to be MJ. It's Martin Emerson Jr.'s. He's due for a breakout year. But don't talk about Deshaun Watson's injury without addressing Denzel Ward's injury history and injuries, because he's injury prone. It's always something. And now he's in concussion protocol. 5 concussions since 2018. That is not good, y'all. It's not. It's not good. At this rate, the next concussion can possibly end his career. Apparently Dorian Thompson-Robinson was being shopped. I'm honestly not surprised, because there's no way in hell that they will keep 4 quarterbacks on the active roster unless you keep 3 and put somebody on a practice squad. Watson is the starter. Winston is the backup. I think that Dorian Thompson-Robinson has done enough to be the number 3 quarterback, but why do you bring in Snoop Hunt? What's the point? Is it to fill the quarterback room up? I know there was a lot of quarterback issues last year. Thank God it ain't fucking PJ Walker. Shit. I ain't even gonna go there because he's not here anymore. So I'm gonna leave that. So I'm glad the quarterback room is at least all right now. It's a good problem to have. But I think what is probably going to happen is going to be Watson as the starter, Winston as the backup, Huntley as the number 3 and the emergency guy, and you put Dorian Thompson-Robinson on the practice squad. Because if you guys didn't know, the practice squad has expanded to, I believe it's 13 players, 17 players, something like that. It's more than the 4 or the 5 that you used to could have. It's like an expanded. So there are going to be a couple of guys that you watch in the preseason and be like, hey, I like this guy. All right, we can get him on the practice squad. It's not, which is a good thing. Speaking of trades, the Browns, in the most obvious thing ever, K. York got traded. Not surprised by that. They traded him to the Washington Commanders for a 7th round pick, which, okay, cool. Not mad at that at all. Hopkins was going to be the kicker anyway. They re-signed Cade York just to showcase him. Good move by them. Shout out to Cade York. He did give us some good moments and a whole lot of bad moments, but remember, he kicked the game-winning field goal to beat Baker Mayfield in the Carolina Panthers to open the season a couple of years ago. Let's not forget that. Y'all were running around Cleveland talking about, I'm going to buy a Cade York jersey. Turn around so I don't kick you back in, okay? Just turn the fuck around. I'm not supposed to curse, but sorry. Finally, in final Browns news, Mike Hall Jr.'s fiance has recanted her statement. I'm not going to stay here too long, but I'll just say I did speak about that situation last week and what was said in the report was some heinous stuff. But for it to be recanted a week later, one is something that I'm not surprised by. That is his fiance. And 2, it was kind of expected. Which is why Kevin Stefanski handled things the way that he handled them last week by saying, we're just going to let this thing play out. He's at practice. I'm pretty sure Mike was like, oh, he probably did have a sit down with Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski and maybe the Haslam's if they were in town and said, listen, this thing may blow over. I'm almost certain when he went home from practice after all of this stuff, she still was at the house. And they worked out whatever they needed to work out. But let me preface this by saying, I do not condone domestic violence. I do not condone a man putting his hands on a woman. I do not condone a man brandishing a weapon at a woman. But if you start the process and you recant a statement, I think something should be done to the person who made the statement and then recanted it. Because were you telling the truth or were you lying? And I am going to leave that at that. Do with that as you will. I'm not going to spend any more time on that. Done. Week 0 in college football is here. Holy moly, I'm excited about that. I just don't understand. Oh my goodness. I love college football. By the way, before I continue, the Pizzle's Picks Challenge is up, and the Pizzle's Picks Challenge will close. The college picks start next week. Pro picks the week after that. But the college picks, y'all got a week to sign up. It is a chance for you guys to win some free money. It is free to enter, okay? All you got to do, sign up, join the Pizzle's College Picks group, and you have a chance to win a cash prize at the end of the year. All you have to do is win the darn group. If y'all can outpick me through the entire season, you guys will win a cash prize. You guys will win some of my money. It's that easy. On my Facebook, people, the link will be in the comments. Okay? And as far as the pro picks, it's the same thing. Sign up. Make your picks. It's free. I've never known people to pass up free money. Ask Ray Simpson. Ask Larry Gardner. Ask Gregory McCurry. I pay down mine. They beat me in shit last year. The college bowls, the NFL playoff bracket, and March Madness are the three that I lost in. So just ask them. So get those picks in now. There isn't any for week 0. It starts next week. It starts week 1. Pizzle's Picks premieres next week at 7:30. Okay. Week 0, we got 4 games this coming up Saturday, including one in Ireland. Number 10 Florida State travels to Ireland to take on Georgia Tech. Montana and New Mexico, SMU and Nevada, and Delaware takes on Hawaii. That is week 0. Those are the 4 games. And I'm probably going to be watching a couple of these games. No, I'm not. I'm gonna be partying. Me and the wife are gonna be out kicking it this weekend. So I'll try to glance at some stuff. I might have my phone in my hand. I might not. My wife might look at me crazy if I do that. But ladies and gentlemen, we are finally in a new era of college football. It's a new day because not only the NIL, the guys are getting paid. That's something whole totally different. But we have really a legit playoff system. A legit playoff system. It's a 12 team, it's a 5+7 system. I'll break it. Let me break it down. In this 12 team playoff, the top 5 conference winners get an automatic bid, which is funny because I believe the Pac-12 is still, I guess how they're gonna do that. The 5 conference they get, the champions will be ranked by conference. I'm sorry, y'all, I'm looking at the wrong. Got 2 boards going on around. The next 7 highest ranked will be at-large bid. Will be the at-large guys. Seeds 1 through 4 get a bye, get a first round bye. The 5th conference champion, which will probably be the Pac-2, the Pac-2 will be seeded by college football playoff ranking. If it's below 12th, they'll be the 12th seed. So I expect Oregon State or Washington State to be the fucking 12th seed, okay? Just get that out there. The first round will be played on campus at the highest seeded school. So 5, 6, 7, and 8 will host a playoff game. That's going to be a sick atmosphere at whichever of those schools are hosting playoff games. That is going to be absolutely crazy. The quarterfinals and the semifinals will be at what is now known as the New Year's Six Bowls, and that is only in play for the next 2 years. Now, what happens the next 2 years is because the New Year's Six Bowls are locked into these TV deals. What happens 2 years from now, we don't know yet. But the quarterfinals will be the Fiesta Bowl on December 31st. The Peach Bowl, the Rose Bowl, and the Sugar Bowl on January the 1st, and the Sugar Bowl on January 2nd. The semifinals will be the Orange Bowl on January 9th, the Cotton Bowl on January the 10th, and the College Football National Championship, the first in this new era, will be played in Atlanta on January the 20th. So that this is a new era. Like, this is a whole lot of fun. And with this new era, you got the 12-team playoff. And now if y'all haven't seen it, let me break down the conference realignment, because a lot of teams were moving and shaking. Like 5 years ago, we only, like 4 or 5 years ago, we only knew that 2 teams were moving in the conference. And y'all know exactly who I'm talking. I'll get to them in a second. But let's start with the ACC, who has done some expansion themselves. Well, between the ACC, Big Ten, and the Big 12, they just decided to purge the Pac-12 because they knew their TV deal was coming up, and they knew that they were so far apart. So all 3 of those big conferences decided to dip into the Pac-12 and take teams. The ACC took 2 schools from there. They took Cal and Stanford, and they also took SMU from the American Athletic Conference, which gives them a total of 17 schools to go with the other schools that are there. The Big Ten now has 18 schools, which is the biggest conference in college football. They add Oregon, USC, UCLA, and Washington to what is already a stacked conference with the defending national champion Michigan, Ohio State, which probably has one of the best rosters that anybody has ever seen, And yes, that includes my '01 Miami Hurricanes. Yes, that includes the 2004 USC Trojans. Yes, that includes any squad from Alabama from 2008 to 2023. Yes, that includes LSU from a couple of years ago. Yes, that includes Clemson from not too long ago. Ohio State has one of those rosters. And I'm going to say this right now, Ohio State fans. There is no excuse for why they shouldn't win the national championship this year. That will be a part of my preview next week. Moving on. The Big 12 has 16 schools. They add Arizona, Arizona State, Colorado, and Utah from the Pac 12. And they lose Texas and Oklahoma. The Pac 12 is now the Pac 2. Oregon State and Washington State. They will play games against the Mountain West. So let's just be honest here. In 2 years or whenever they decide, the Pac 12 and the Mountain West are going to end up merging. And that is going to be a new conference. So just be prepared for that. I'm saying it now. The Mountain West is going to become a major conference, or the schools in the Mountain West Conference are going to become a major conference to round out this the Big Five of the ACC, Big 10, Big 12, Pac-12. And finally, the SEC is up to 16 teams. You add Texas and Oklahoma to the best conference in the land. Oh, my God. I'm telling y'all, this college football season, once conference play gets going, and I believe this is so intriguing, man. The AAC, the American Athletic Conference, is at 14 teams. Still, they added Army and they lose SMU to the ACC. Conference USA adds Kennesaw State. The MAC and the Mountain West stay at 12. The Sun Belt stays at 14 teams. This is going to be a fun college football season. And also, Notre Dame remains independent, right? So, I think I read this correctly. I think you have to be a conference champion to get a top 4 seed. But since Notre Dame isn't in a conference, I think if they get one of the 7 at-large bids, they get a bye. Or they get something. It's something crazy, something confusing. I was reading about that and reading over it. It's something crazy. Notre Dame, just join the darn conference, for crying out loud. The ACC or the Big 10 will be happy to have you. Just join the ACC. I get it. You got your TV contract and with NBC, and it's Notre Dame, cheer for old Notre Dame, blah, blah, blah. And eventually you're going to have to come on home. Because I believe they could be the number 1 team in the country and undefeated, and they'll still end up like being the 5th seed because they aren't in a conference. So y'all gonna have to come on home eventually. The coaches poll did come out last week. I said I was gonna discuss this, or I was gonna talk about this a little bit, or I would just run through the teams. 1 through 5 is Georgia, Ohio State, Oregon, Texas, and Alabama. So it's basically the SEC and the Big 10 there. 6 through 10, Ole Miss, Notre Dame, Michigan, Penn State, Florida State. You got 1 more SEC team, 2 more Big 10 teams, the ACC team, and Notre Dame. 11 through 15, Missouri, LSU, Utah, Clemson, Tennessee. There's more SEC. 16 through 20, Oklahoma, Kansas State, Oklahoma State, Miami, Texas A&M. 21 through 25 is Arizona, NC State, USC, Kansas, and Iowa. So let's run through it. You got Georgia, Texas, Alabama, Ole Miss, Missouri, LSU, Tennessee, Oklahoma, Texas A&M. How many teams is that of the top 25? Is that 9? Georgia, Texas, Bama, Ole Miss. Missouri, LSU, Tennessee, Oklahoma, Texas A&M. That's 9. The Big Ten, Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State, USC. That's 4. Am I missing somebody? No. The highest rated Big 12 team here appears to be Utah. Yep. That's it. The highest ACC team, of course, is Florida State. And the highest Pac-12 team, they're not even up there. Oregon State or Washington State don't even get there, which is crazy. But I am excited for that. And before we get out of here, Cleveland, we lost 2 people this week. First and foremost, rest in peace to Phil Donahue. Phil Donahue is one of us. He's a Cleveland person. So rest in peace to Phil Donahue, daytime talk show host legend, sick day legend, because if you were sick at home from school back in the 80s and the 90s, your parents took you to your grandmother's house and your grandmother was watching Phil Donahue. Okay? Just a legend, passed away earlier this week. And also Cleveland, rest in peace to Nick Milletti, who passed away today. He is the founder and the first owner of the Cleveland Cavaliers. He orchestrated the move. He was the one who bought the land and put the team out in Richfield at the Richfield Coliseum. He also at a time owned the Cleveland Indians and the Cleveland Barons. So rest in peace to Phil Donahue and Nick Milletti. And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to wrap this show up. Make sure y'all tune in this week or next week. Tuesday, we got Tuesday night's main event at 7. Thursday, 7:30 or 7 p.m. I'm going to just say 7. I don't want to change. Pizzle's Picks. It'll be start of the college football season. And next week, we got Club Pizzle. And I'm not going to guarantee that 2 weeks from now I'm going to do a Club Pizzle, but a Pizzle's Picks will be done because that is my wedding anniversary week, and me and the wife do not plan on getting. That's why I'm going to have to pre-record it. Yeah, that's that. And full disclosure, we'll be back. I don't have a target date for it, but it will be back. So just be tuned in for that. Remember this Sunday, Grog Shop, Battleground, pop out. Just come out and support it. Support Cleveland business, support Black business. Oh, also, I do want to give another shout out that I missed at the beginning of the show that was out at the Beats and Bars Festival. Shout out to Lady K's Kitchen. Let me make sure I'm saying the name because I've had to save it in my notes. Where we at? Lady K and Family. Look for it on Instagram. It's Lady K and Family, the food truck that was out at the Beats and Bars Festival. Some of the best jumbo wings, or some of the best wings that I've had since my favorite spot networks closed last year. Shout out to them. I definitely will drive down to Canton to try to find they ass and go and get me some chicken. Appreciate them as well. Y'all know what it is, man. Always protect your peace, protect your energy. The message is more important than the messenger. And remember, creators, be great. Stay positive because negative energy is trash. Until next week, y'all. Peace.